capturing. And 3, 2, 1.
Hi, my name is Laken Fitzgerald, and I'm going to talk a little bit about careers in digital media. The 3 careers that I chose to talk about were photography, graphic design, and broadcast and sound engineering technician. Those are 3 that I would focus on if I was to get a career. If you're wondering why I chose those pathways, I love what I do in shop, and we deal with all 3 of those in shop. You get recognized for your own creativity. You come up with your own projects, your own designs, your own formats, and you get recognized for those. And most of the time you work at your own pace. As a little bit of a career overview for these 3 careers, in photography, you will be required to have technical expertise, creativity, and composition skills, and produce and preserve images that tell a story with your photographs. As a graphic designer, you create visual concepts by hand or computer, whichever you prefer. Some prefer just by hand, some prefer computers and computer software, and communicate ideas that inspire, inform, or captivate consumers. And with broadcast and sound engineering technician, you will set up, operate, or maintain electrical equipment for radio, television, broadcast, concerts, or movies. Sometimes all of those, sometimes not all of those, it just depends where you work. The tasks and technologies for a photographer require a camera, obviously, a studio, depending on whether you would rather take your pictures in a studio or go somewhere. Some travel for photo shoots, just travel around the world or different places, so some don't even have a studio. And photo editing software. Not everyone uses that, some people do, it all depends. And lighting, most photographers require lighting for taking your photographs, which is common sense. And a graphic designer, a computer editing software like Adobe Photoshop, Firework, After Effects, etc. Almost all Adobe products, I guess some aren't really for graphic designing, but most of them are. And for a broadcast and sound engineering technician, different types of audio equipment and software like Adobe Premiere Pro, which is one of the Adobe products that isn't really for graphic design, but in this case you'd use it for sound engineering. Income and job availability for a photographer on average in 2010, which of course it has raised since then, was $29,130 a year. Like I said, some travel for their photo shoots. Not everyone prefers to be in a studio, some do. And some work in laboratories, which usually requires college, which we'll get into that here in a little bit. And for a graphic designer, roughly $43,500 a year. That's also in 2012, so I'm sure that has raised. In specialized design services and publishing and advertising, which could mean many, many things. It just all depends. Graphic designing includes so many different jobs. And broadcast and sound engineering technician, roughly $39,870 a year. You mainly work in indoors or in office buildings, radio, television, or recording studios. That's mainly what people work in, not everyone, but most. And educational requirement for a photographer. Post-secondary education is not required, but like I said, for laboratories, usually a bachelor's degree for photojournalists and industrial and scientific photographer. So if you were going to work in a laboratory, I'm sure you would have to have some type of college education, whether it's associate's or bachelor's degree. And for the graphic designer, a bachelor's degree is usually required. Not everyone requires you to have a bachelor's degree. Some associate's degree is fine. And demonstrate creativity through professional portfolio that features best designs, which here in digital media for our senior year as a senior project, we were required to create a DVD portfolio which included a lot of our work that we have completed. So whenever I go to apply for a job, I have that DVD to hand in for my portfolio. And for broadcast and sound engineering technician, Mostly associate's degree or vocational certification, which is like here at Jeff Tech, which we are getting our vocational certification, and some high school diploma, which would just be attending a regular high school with some formal training, which I'm sure you would get if you got hired at that job. They would train you on that. Certifications, already being in digital media, I have experience with all three of those. We do work with all three of those a lot, and we all get trained pretty much on all three of those. And audio technician could be done with my high school training, like I said. We do have a vocational certification, but if I was to attend a regular high school, some places would just hire me right out of high school. It just all depends. And here are my resources for the links. I use the same website for all three, so if you'd like to go there and check out the statistics on all three of those jobs, right there is the link. That is everything. Thanks.